Hello, and welcome to the Gifted Student Service Plan GSSP training. My name is Kathy Anderson, and I'm the Gifted Education Program Consultant for the Kentucky Department of Education. Today we will be talking about a new GSSP that has been created in Infinite Campus. Here is an overview of the things that I'll be talking about today. We'll be talking about how to create a GSSP. We'll be talking about a new tool called the GSSP Portal Settings Report. Another couple of new tools that I'll be talking about are the GSSP Portal Options Update tool, how to transfer the GT record in GSSP, the Parent and Student Portal, and also the GSSP Batch Print Report for the specific new GSSP. Something to remember is that if you want to see this new GSSP and these new tools, you need to contact your Kentucky Student Information System contact. That's your CASES contact. In order to be able to see these tools, they'll have to give you rights and permissions to use them before you can see them or use them in Infinite Campus. Here are some new features about the new GSSP. The GSSP will auto-populate from the service delivery options marked in a student's gifted and talented record. Comments can be added to the GT record and will show on the GSSP. This new GSSP will transfer automatically with the student and is imported through the records transfer process. Now, although it transfers with the student, you do have to import it. A report can be generated to show which students are in the GSSP portal. And last but not least, the Portal Update tool for the GSSP will turn on portal access by school and grade level. Let's first talk about creating the GSSP. So first of all, you're going to find the student in Infinite Campus, or IC, and create a GT record for the new GT student according to the directions in the GT data standards. Please make sure that you review these standards to ensure that you are entering information into Infinite Campus correctly, especially for students who are selected due to special considerations, military compact, or local norms. The GSSP will be created from the service delivery options selected in the GT record. So make sure that you look at those service delivery options to ensure that is what you want to show on the GSSP. Next, from the student's record, click Student Service Plan. This will be a new button that you will see at the top of the student's record. Now, you will not see this new button if you haven't contacted your CASES contact and requested access to this new button and these other tools that I'm going to talk about. Then you'll select either Save to Documents or Print. Selecting Save to Documents saves the GSSP under the Documents tab. Selecting Print allows the document to be viewed, saved, or printed. So when you click Print, it'll open up what you will see as the GSSP, and then if you want to, you can print it from there. Something else to remember is about the Gifted Student Service Plan is that when you save it, you no longer have to download it, then upload it to save it to the Documents tab. It's going to automatically save it under the Documents tab, and I'll show you what that looks like in some slides ahead. All right, so viewing the GSSP. So here you see a screenshot of the GSSP that's been saved in the Documents tab. So if you saved it but you didn't view it, this is how you would view it. To view the GSSP, you're going to click Documents, select the GSSP to view. A URL link will appear at the bottom of the screen. Click the link or arrow to download the GSSP. A text box with a PDF of the GSSP will appear in the left corner of the screen. Click the text box to open the GSSP. And you'll notice that the new GSSP has like a little green arrow beside the link. That lets you know that you're going to download that in order to see the PDF document. Here is a screenshot of the new GSSP. You'll notice it looks very similar to what we used to call the print summary. But in this case, you'll notice that any comments that were put on the student's record show at the bottom of this GSSP report. Next, let's talk about preparing the GSSP for the portal, for the parent and student portal. So if the GSSP is ready to view in the portal, lock the GSSP and check the Show in Portal box, or wait and use the Show in Portal tool, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, to turn on all selected GSSPs for the portal. If the GSSP is not ready to view, return to the student's GT record and update. And you'll notice that the new version of the student's record is going to have this new Show in Portal box. Let's talk about creating a GSSP for a transfer student. So you have a student who has moved into your district from another district, and you may want to create for them a new GSSP if it hasn't already been created for them. And we'll talk about what that looks like if they've already had a GSSP created for them in just a second. So first, what you want to do is you want to open the student's GT record and review the student's delivery options. And make sure that those service delivery options are the ones that your district would want to offer. Because sometimes what's offered in one district is not offered in another district for one reason or another. So if desired, you can add comments to the record. Follow the previous directions then for previewing and locking the GSSP. Now I will say you'll want to check to see if the student already has a GSSP, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But if the student doesn't have a GSSP in Infinite Campus, this is how you would create a new GSSP for a transfer student. Let's next talk about the GSSP Portal Settings Report. This is a new tool in Infinite Campus. As I said before, in order to see it, you'll have to contact your cases person. So to see this GSSP Portal Settings Report, you will follow this click path. You'll go to Index, then Portal, then Reports, then you'll see the GSSP Portal Settings Report. Under Show in Portal, select blank, yes or no. The blank shows the status of all the GSSPs. So this means it shows if they're turned on or not turned on. Yes shows all the GSSPs that are turned on. That means the portal is turned on for parents to see it, or will show in the portal. No shows all the GSSPs that are not turned on and will not show in the portal. After selecting all extract options, choose the calendar to include in the report. Then choose the schools to be included. Select Control-click or Shift-click to select multiple schools. Finally, click Generate Extract to create the report. Let's talk about the GSSP Portal Options Update tool. This tool is going to allow you to turn off and on students to be viewed in the portal. So rather than having to turn them on one at a time, you can turn on students to be viewed in the portal all at one time. To access this tool, follow this click path: Index, System Administration, Portal, GSSP Portal Options Update Tool. And again, remember, in order to see this tool, you have to have access from your case's contact. In the tool, under Select Calendars, choose the calendar to include in the report. Under Select Calendars, choose the schools for updating the Show in Portal checkbox on the GSSP. Under Options, select the grade to update the Show in Portal checkbox for the GSSPs. Under Select Batch Update Mode, choose either to enable or disable portal document. Click Update Gifted and Talented Settings to change the Show in Portal checkboxes on the GSSP selected. So again, this tool allows you to update as many GSSPs to show in the portal as you would like according to uh, the different selections that you have chosen. Transferring the GT record and the GSSP. I just want to say these are two different items in Infinite Campus. So let's talk about this. So transferring a student record. So a student record is what comes over with a student, what is transferred with a student that has their service delivery options and the evidences that were used to identify the student for the gifted and talented program. A GSSP document is separate from that. It's just that. It comes over in the transfer process, but it's a document. It's not the record. So let me just try to make a definition between those two items. All right, so staff with student record transfer rights will receive notice through Infinite Campus when a new student has transferred to the district. So usually enrollment personnel or the counselor in the district will be notified through Infinite Campus when they have a new student in their district. Before transferring the student's GSSP, import the student's GT record. And again, that student record is a separate item from the GSSP document. Remember, the GT record tells you when the student was identified, um, what service delivery options that the previous district offered that student, and also the evidences that were used to identify the student. Whereas the GSSP is just going to tell you what service delivery options will be given to that student, when they were identified, that type of thing, and also comments about the student. It's a document, not the record. So to import the GT record, follow the directions in the Student Records Transfer Data Standard, or watch the Records Transfer Data video. Section B of the Student's Record Data Standards gives specific directions for the GT student record. I'll also add that the GT Data Standards also inform staff about how to import or transfer a GT record. Something to remember is that not all people have rights to see the Records Transferred tab, and so you'll need to work with your case's contact or your counselor or those who have these rights in order to see when you have a new record. It's very important to have a process in place so that when you have a new student into your district, that if you don't have these types of permissions to see when a new student transfers into the district, that you know when you have a new GT student. You won't automatically be alerted to that. A process has to be developed in your district in order for you to be notified when you have a new GT student. Let's talk about importing the GSSP. It's very simple. You find the student in Infinite Campus under the Search tab, then follow this click path. Records Transfer, you'll see that's a tab there on the right-hand side of the screen. Then you go down and you'll see lots of links underneath that have transferred over with that student. If Gifted Documents Import Wizard is blue, that's a link that you can click on. So once you click on that link, the GSSP will be saved automatically in the student's GT record under the Documents tab. As I said before, you no longer have to download the record and then save the record back up to the student's Documents tab. It automatically saves to the student's Documents tab in their GT record. Last but not least, let's talk about the parent-student portal. So there is a video called Campus Parent Portal. This is a good resource for explaining to parents about how to view their students' GSSP in the portal. Parents will use this click path to view their students' GSSP. They'll go to Documents, then Gifted and Talented, then GSSP. Below are screenshots of the portal and the parent view of the GSSP. One more thing before we close. These new GSSPs can be batch printed, meaning if you have 100 or so students that you want to print for one reason or another, to send home with students or to mail to parents, you could do that. Although we do have available that parent portal, which would eliminate having to print them out to send them home to parents. So this tool, again, it allows you to print multiple GSSP forms in a given year rather than printing them one at a time. To access the batch print report, follow this click path, Index, Student Information, Reports, GSSP Batch Print Report. Again, like all the other new tools, you must contact your cases person in order to be able to see this new tool. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at Kathy Anderson. I'm always glad to answer any questions that you have. My email is kathy.anderson@education.ky.gov, and my phone number is 502-564-4970, extension 4133. I look forward to hearing from you.